My name is Bettina, and I'm based in our Shanghai office in China. And with me today, I also have my colleague Dia from our headquarters in Tampere, Finland. And then we have some special guests from our dear partner university, Metropolia University of Applied Sciences in Finland. So here today from the university, we have Aija Ahokas, who is the manager of education export. We also have Sirpa Rutanen, who's a communication specialist at the university. We have Oheneba, which is an international student at Metropolia. And we also have Kimmo Saureen, who is the head of degree program at ICT. So if you have any special questions regarding the ICT program, this is a very good chance to ask those as well. And the agenda for today is that I will say 2 words about Edunation first, then I'll give over to the university representatives to say a few words. The Oheneba, the international student, can also talk a little bit about the student life at Metropolia. And then last but not least, we have Tia talking about the application process. And in the final end, we have the question and answer session. So if you have any question that comes up in your mind during this webinar, please write them in the Q&A box down below. So don't write them in the chat function because other participants won't be able to see those. Instead, write them in the Q&A box so that everybody sees the questions that we get in, and therefore we don't have to answer the same questions multiple times. Okay, so just a quick recap about Edunation for those of you who are new to us. Basically, Edunation wants to revolutionize the way international students are recruited to Finland. Basically, what this means is that we want to make the admission process quicker and simpler and more attractive for international students to apply to our universities in Finland. However, beyond the admission and application, we also want to be a local contact support for your students in Finland. So before applying, we of course want to give you, our partners abroad, the best customer service and answer any questions related to studying in Finland and the universities and available degrees here. But also during studies and after graduation, we hope that we can help the international students to actually find internships and jobs in Finland afterwards. And we actually work very closely with the private sector, so companies to help connect international students with Finnish employers as well. So basically, very short, why you should partner with Edunation. By partnering with us, you get access to 10 different universities in Finland. We also help you process the applications, meaning that when we get an application to Edunation, we will check that the student meet the minimum requirements before we send it further to the university for final decision making. We also try to be very fast, so within 1 to 2 days, we answer all the applications that come in. And then we also try to, of course, give a very good customer service, meaning that if you choose to talk to us through email, Skype, WeChat, or WhatsApp, all of those are fine with us, and you can always reach us through multiple channels. So basically, that's very short about Edunation, and now I'll go over to Metropolia University of Applied Science University representatives. So please go ahead. And I'll just stop sharing my screen here.
Aija, you're on mute.
Okay, so I will start by telling why study at Metropolia. Sorry, a second. All right, thank you, Aija. So, make the choice of your life, study at Metropolia University of Applied Sciences. I'll be telling you shortly about Metropolia together with Aija Ahokas. So Metropolia is a multidisciplinary university of applied sciences. We have 4 fields of studies, and we are the largest one in Finland. We currently operate in 4 campuses. Still some other premises are in use, but the main focus is to be operating in the cities of Helsinki, Espoo, and Vantaa, and concentrated on 4 campuses. We have 16,500 students and about 1,000 staff members. And the 4 fields of studies are business, culture, healthcare and social services, and then technology. And the field of technology is the biggest one of these 4. And in year 2017, there were around 2,600 bachelor's graduates and around 390 master's graduates. And the reasons why study at Metropolia, well, we already mentioned that we are the largest one in Finland, but we have also a very vast partner network, both in Finland as well as outside Finland. We do work also with many companies in Finland, especially in the field of ICT and also in the field of healthcare and social services. We have a very strong partner network inside Finland as well, but both outside, as well as in the other fields as well. And in the field of technology, our offering is most versatile and extensive, and the same goes for the healthcare and social services. And in business degree programs, we are ranked as having the best teaching among the UASs in Finland. And then one unique detail is that we also offer a double degree option in European Business Administration, but that is also available in the international business and logistics nowadays, if you want to specialize. And what comes to teaching in English, we have a very long history in teaching in English at the bachelor level, as well as joint curriculum design. And now, Aya, will you continue?
Yes, the collaboration with Edunation started already almost half a year ago, and we have.
Aya, would you kindly unmute yourself and start from the beginning, please?
Okay, sorry, I think now you are able to hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So we started our collaboration with Edunation about half a year ago, and there are 2 ways to work with to apply through Edunation. The one is joint application system, and then the other one is just this kind of made-to-order degree program applications. And just this morning we had an internal meeting, and the separate application will be open from the 4th of March until the end of April. So it means that the students could apply to Metropolia through an electronic system. And this means that there would be no agents in between the application system. But this made-to-order degree program is open continuously. So whenever there is an applicant, they can apply through Edunation's system, and Tia will soon tell about this electronic system a little bit more. So in Metropolia, we have 4 fields of study, as my colleague Sirpa was mentioning. The largest one is the field of technology with 23 different degree programs. And we offer education on bachelor level studies and as well on master level studies. In Finland, it's not possible to do PhD studies in the universities of applied sciences. In healthcare and social services, we have 25 different degree programs, and 2 of them are run in English language, but these degree programs have a challenge of the Finnish language skills. So B1 level Finnish language skills are needed for those degree programs. So we haven't opened this one through Edunation so far. Business studies and cultural studies, they are the smaller faculties, but still we have there more than 1,700 students in each field. So as mentioned, Metropolia is the largest university of applied sciences in Finland, and we are happy to welcome more students to Metropolia and Helsinki. Now I'm not able to change the slide. Just a minute.
Yeah, take your time, no problem.
Okay, so maybe Sirpa could say a few words about our international approach.
Well, Metropolia is a very international community. We welcome students as well as staff members around the world, and we offer currently 11 degree programs that are taught fully in English, and also then the rest are taught in Finnish, but we have the possibility also to tailor-made some of the degree programs currently now taught in Finnish into English ones. We have 480 partner institutions globally, and the exchange programs are very well used in our university. We have over 370 of our students that go on exchange over 3 months every year, but also 320 exchange students come to Metropolia. And in addition to that, our staff members, both teachers and the other staff members, are very active internationally. Over 600 go on teacher and staff exchange programs annually. Currently, we have around 1,100 foreign degree students and over 90 nationalities.
There is a technical problem. The slides don't change in the sharing screen.
Now it's changing.
Yeah. Okay, so the degree programs that we have in Metropolia available for the students who would like to apply through Edunation. On a bachelor level studies, we offer 3 different options to you. Electronics is a 4-year degree program, and we consider it as 240 ECTS credit degree program. So it means each year the students are supposed to study 60 credits. The annual fee, tuition fee for this degree program is 12,000 euros. Then another degree program on a bachelor level is information technology. And this is as well a 4-year degree program with 240 ECTS. And the cost for this degree program per year is 10,000 euros. And our student, Oheneba, will tell you more from this degree program and the student point of view, how to study and what are the positive things and maybe challenges in these studies in Finland. Then we have international business and logistics, which is a 3.5-year degree program, meaning it's 210 ECTS credits. And this is 10,000 euros per year for a student. On a master level studies, we are able to offer you through the Made to Order degree program 4 different degree programs. And these, the content of these degree programs depend from how many credits the student has done already on the bachelor level. In Europe, master level studies are considered to be 300 credit units. So if the student has done 210 credits on the bachelor level, then it means that they need to do 90 credits more. If they have studied 4 years, like in the information technology, it means that they would need to top up with 60 credits to make it up to 300 credit units for the master's degree program. Industrial management is a 60 credit unit course, 11,000 euros per year. Information technology, 60 credit units, the same cost. Business informatics as well, 60 credit units, 11,000. And health business management, 90 credits if it's based on the degree program in healthcare. But if the students have done healthcare ICT studies with 240 credit units, then this health business management can be done in 1 year's time, full-time studying, 60 credit units. So it really depends from the background of the student how many credit units they need to do for the health business management studies. Maybe something about our campuses. Now we have, by the end of 2019, we will have only 4 main campuses. So it means that we have renewed a lot in our system, and our learning environment have changed a lot as well. So in Metropolia campus, we have a brand new campus, so it's many new facilities. Myyrmäki campus is the campus for the business studies and the technological studies. And Leppävaara is mainly for the ICT studies, and then Arabia is for the cultural studies. So this means that it's very easy for the students to travel from one campus to another, and all of them are very easily to reach by metro or by train or by bus. So local trafficking and local transportation system is very good in Helsinki area. So this is maybe our benefit. And as well, these new campuses are really great because there are new possibilities for the students to experience new kind of learning perspectives and to do innovation studies. And the campus life itself is great. I think Ohe Neba, you can tell more about this, how it looks like if you think about the Leppävaara campus, for instance. So here you can see the photos of our campuses. We are now in Arabia campus, myself and Sirpa. So this is the campus for creative arts. And Leppävaara is the one for developer campus for smart solutions. Myllypuro is mainly for the health-being, and Myyrmäki for the sustainable technology and business, as mentioned before. Okay, so I think I would like to give the floor now to our student, Ohe Neba, and if you would like to tell something about how the life is in Leppävaara and how your studies have proceeded here in Metropolia in the ICT studies.
Right, so hello, my name is Ohe Neba. I'm from Ghana, and I'm in my 2nd year of studying information technology in Metropolia. I'm in the Leppävaara campus. And basically, the way our studies are structured is such that in a year, there's 4 periods. In each period, you have there's a theme of something that you're going to be studying, and then after that, towards the end of it, maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks, you're expected to do like a project based on what you've learned in the first 6 weeks. And currently, we are learning Angular and Ionic, and we're going to build a social media, an application that helps people, that aids with sustainable development. And what I enjoy about it is that you're obliged to use what you have learned. So there's no you can't really cut corners, if you know what I mean. Like, you have to learn it and you have to use it, and you got to show to the teachers that yes, I have learned it, and not just that I've learned it theoretically, but I've learned it so that I can actually recreate what I've learned. And of course, as usual, in any education system, one can cut corners, but it's kind of hard to do that in this kind of situation because you have to show something for it, you know. And this year, this is my second year, and my major, which was chosen at the end of the first year, was mobile solutions. And so far, we've worked with Kotlin to make a chat application, an Android chat application, and then we learned a bit of the basics of web development software, so JavaScript and just making websites and the like. And that was a very difficult period. Not a lot of fun that period, but right now we have it's a build up on that, and we're using a framework to build, like I mentioned earlier, an application for sustainable development. And in my case, we're making something for lost and found things. And I'm in the Leppävaara campus. It's right next to a train station here, and most of my classmates are living in Espoo here, which is kind of in the neighborhood of, or in the region of this campus. And as such, they have easy access to the school. The organization or the body that is in charge of giving students accommodation makes it such that you're like 90% likely to get accommodation in the region that you're studying in. So from my classmates, I think I'm the one who lives the farthest away, because but that's only like 45 minutes on a bad day. So it's pretty close. Just take one bus, 45 minutes, I'm here. On a good day, it takes me about 25 minutes to get here. So, and pretty much everyone else lives somewhere where there's a train stop. So it's really easy to get to with regards to. And in terms of this campus, I don't know what else I could mention, but I've been on all the campuses because I currently also work for the school's help desk. So the campuses are kind of structured that there's everything you need on that campus. Library, there's a help desk, there's pretty much anything you can think of. Every campus has their own one. And if you need a book that is in another campus from the school library system, it's such that I believe that if I recall, they have a system where you can get it to you from another campus's library. And so everything is well structured in that sense. And yeah, and in terms of the people that I'm studying with, it's a very international environment. If I were to recollect the last 5 people I spoke to, the nationalities of the last 5 people I spoke to, I think Iranian, Finnish, Ethiopian, Turkish, Finnish again, or something. It's a very international environment, and it's like that's one thing I appreciate very much about here, because when I came here, it was like, well, naturally you're new, you know, and everybody else is new, so you kind of have people to vibe with and get along with to go through the day-to-day life. And in here, if you can speak English, there's not really much problem with the language barrier or anything like that. Finnish people are excited about some things, including sauna and speaking English. They're very often excited about speaking English. So that's a good thing. And I think of all the people I come across, the percentage of people that I would say do not know how to speak English would be maybe like 10%. And anyways, here things are also again structured such that you can find everything by yourself. So you tend to not really need to go talk to anyone, although it's, of course, as humans, we like to talk to other people. And I don't know if I'm missing anything here. If anyone can remind me of anything that I'm missing.
I think you've covered quite well, and you'll be there until the end of the session. So
right.
All the participants can also ask questions to you about student life in Helsinki, student life in Metropolia. Now we have the expert here, so take advantage of that and start posting questions. I think I could now go through the actual how to apply. So let me share my screen on that. And after this, we are going to start answering questions. So please start typing your questions in the Q&A box so that we can go them through. We have really good group of experts here because there's Oheneba and there's Kimmo, who's the head of the program, and then there's Aija and Sirpa, who know everything about Metropolia. So now let's go through how to apply to the Metropolia degrees that Aija and Sirpa just listed. So what you need is the copy of the final higher secondary school certificate or bachelor degree certificate, if you're applying to the master's program. You need a transcript of records, and your GPA has to be at least 60%, and attach the grading scale if it's not clear from the transcript of records. Then you need a copy of the passport ID page, and then IELTS 5.5 or equivalent. However, the English language test is not required if your secondary education or the bachelor degree was completed in English in a country where English is the official language. Then motivation letter, but this is only for international business and logistics. So everybody else only with those first 4. All the documents need to be in English or translated in English, and you have to have the originals with you when you arrive in Finland. The deadline to apply is by the end of April, but of course we hope the sooner the better, so that we can start the process of residence permit and everything like that to Finland. So we have a new online application portal where the application happens on this page, apply.edunation.co, and all the communication with the applicant happens online in that portal. So the student or the agent creates an applicant profile, and when you create the profile, you will get a unique code, and with that code you can access the profile later on and keep amending the application. And you submit all the required documents in that portal or in your profile, and we go through everything. If everything is okay, we send them to Metropolia, and once Metropolia approves the student, then the applicant will receive an offer in his or her profile, and she or he needs to accept the offer, and then the admission letter is sent. And the admission letter is also sent into the portal, so the applicant has to sign into the portal and download and print the letter there. And once the tuition fee is paid, we will send the instructions for the residence permit process. This is how the portal looks. So it operates on our browser. You can become an applicant. If you click the Become an Applicant at the upper right corner, you will need to create an applicant profile where you give your names, your email, and basic information about yourself. And once you've completed the profile, this is how it looks, the access code. So you will get this applicant access code. You will also get it to the email that you filled in the applicant profile. So with this code, you'll be able to access your profile later on, add documents, or send email, or send communication to Edunation, and also access your admission letter and access your tuition fee. In the portal, you can browse the different institutions that currently are in the portal. So Metropolia is one of them. And if you click Metropolia, you will see all the different programs that we have available to Metropolia. And by clicking one of them, you will start the application process. So you will get the details of the admission criteria, and then the Apply Now button will appear as well. And once you click the Apply Now, you'll need to sign in as an applicant with your code and start the process. And here on the left-hand side, there is this banner where you can see your application, the tasks, the inbox, finances, calendar. That's where all the information appears. So you need to fill in your details, in your contact details. And if something is missing, let's say you haven't submitted your documents you haven't submitted your IELTS, if it was required, then it will appear as a task for you. So things that you need to fulfill before we can send the application forward to Metropolia for decision making. So basically you just upload the documents there, and when we receive them, we will go them through and ask any questions if we need to. So it's pretty simple. Once all the documents are okay and Metropolia has approved the student, you will get the offer. Once you accept the offer, you will get the admission letter, and you can download and print it there. And tuition payment is done, and then starts the residence permit process. Next week, Thursday, the same time, Bettina and I are going to do a webinar about the residence permit process. So we're going to go through all the details about how to do it and how not to do it. So make sure to join that webinar as well. So today I'm not going to go through the details of the residence permit process. I'd rather have the time to do the questions and answers. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay, we have some questions that have arrived in the chat box. So I'm going to take those first. Camilla George is asking if we can apply without IELTS. Yes, you can apply without IELTS if you have your high school certificate or bachelor degree certificate completed in a country where English is an official language and you also studied in English. So IELTS is not needed, let's say, for students from Ghana, students from Nigeria, students from India, if they studied in English. Then there's a question about whether the presentation will be shared. Yeah, after this, we will share the presentation. Then let's look at Q&A box. A student who did not fare well in A level, but done HND and got through well, will he have an opportunity to join Metropolia? I think I can reply to this that if the basic rule of thumb is that if the student is eligible to study higher education in their own country, then they are also eligible to study in Finland for higher education. Then there's a question, if I noticed earlier in one of the slides that entrance exam is done in Finland. Is this not risky? Can you, Aija, explain a bit about the entrance exam process?
Yes, this one slide about the entrance examination was about this separate application system. So it means that if the students do not apply through made-to-order degree program, that they want to apply directly to Metropolia, then there will be an separate application period open from the 4th of March until the end of April. And the students can apply on a bachelor level studies, they can apply through SAT test. And then they would not need to come to Metropolia for the entrance examination. We do have our national joint applications for the English-speaking degree programs always in January. And if the students apply directly through the joint national system, then it means that they would need to come to an entrance examination after the papers have been gone through, and part of the applicants will be invited for the entrance examination. But this is related to the joint application system.
Yeah, so basically, maybe I can just also simplify it. So for Edunation partners, the most straightforward application is to apply to those degrees that were listed, and there the application period is open until end of April. Or of course, if your student wants to apply directly without your help, that's a different story. Then there's a question about, can a student with arts apply for business and culture programs? So I guess this is like if somebody has a bachelor degree in arts, can they study a master degree in business and culture? So what kind of background does the master student have to have, Aija or Sirpa?
In a business studies, the students would need to have at least 40 credit units of business studies in their bachelor level before they can apply for the master studies. And as well, another requirement in Finland for the master level studies is that the students would need to have completed 3 years of working experience before they can apply for the master level studies. So it means that they would need to be really experienced workers already before they apply for the master level studies. This is exceptional in Finland. It is not like this in the other countries. But in Finland, we feel that those ones who are on a master level, they are already experts. And if they will be the leaders and the boss people on the departments or wherever, managers, they would need to know their subject, and they would need to have enough knowledge and skills to be the leaders. So that's why we in Finland feel that they would need to have at least 3 years of working experience in between the bachelor level and master level studies.
Yeah, good. Then there's a question whether there are scholarships available. Scholarships are not available for those programs that you can apply through Edunation, but they don't have scholarships available. However, Metropolia has you have your own scholarship system for the joint application period, isn't it?
Yes, we do have a scholarship system for the joint application. It's related to the Finnish language skills. That if you have a certain level of completed a certain level of Finnish language courses, then you can apply for the scholarship, and that's annually 3,000 euros. But as you said, it doesn't apply to Edunation. Anyone applying via Edunation.
Yeah. And there's the question: what are the costs associated with the bachelor and master's program? So there, the tuition fee ranges from 10,000 to 12,000 per year. And other additional costs. Oeneba, how much have you budgeted per year for your life in Helsinki? Is this too quick question and too personal?
No. This is one of the questions I was prepared for. I should have mentioned earlier. So usually I spend about 650 a month, and rent here. My rent is sort of mid-range for the student apartments. It's 260 euros. Although if you want to like a place where it's just you, or a bigger place, then I think it goes up to about 400, 500. But even if you take that in a student, if that's a student HOAS, which is the organization that provides student accommodation, through you get it for 400, 500. And that's still relatively cheap for Finland because you're a student and subsidized.
Yeah. And so about 650 in the metropolitan area. You have budgeted for everything, for the rent and for your food and entertainment.
Although I do know some outliers who managed to do on about 450.
Okay.
And I really respect them. I've tried. It's doable. It's doable, but yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah, that's now stretching it. Great, thanks. Very good. Then there's a question: if SAT exam is usually required only if the student just concluded high school, does this mean you will require SAT even if the applicant has a bachelor degree? So through the Edunation application, SAT is not a requirement. You just apply with the GPA 60% and IELTS, or that you have done your previous schooling in English. Could you, Sirpa or Aija, explain SAT in your other application periods?
Well, in the separate application that we will now open for 4th of March, you can either apply doing the SAT, and that's basically for the bachelor degrees. And for the masters, you would conclude an interview, maybe via Skype. We're still finalizing the details, but it won't be SAT for master's degrees.
Okay, good. Then there's IELTS requirements for students from Nepal, applying for a bachelor degree from Nepal. Nepal is not an English-speaking country, but language of instruction in many colleges is English. IELTS is required from those countries where English is not the mother tongue or official language, and where schooling was not done in English. So for Nepal, IELTS would be a requirement. IELTS 5.5. If a student has done bachelor for 3 years, can he apply for master? So this is what I already answered. So to a University of Applied Sciences, you can apply for a master's after you have 3 years of work experience between completing the bachelor degree and starting the master's degree. Is a student with class 12 studies in art stream eligible for bachelor level in business or culture? So this is somebody finishing high school who has focused in arts. Can they start bachelor in business? What do you say, Sirpa and Aija?
Yes, for the high school, after the high school, we don't have that kind of requirements that you have to have a certain studies. If you have completed your high school, and if you have done your SAT, or if you passed the entrance examination, or you apply through the requirements by Edunation, then it's fine.
Okay. Does the nursing undergraduate degree require Finnish language? Or do you offer the degree in English? Sirpa, you mentioned this. Can you repeat and clarify the Finnish requirement for nursing?
Well, for the nursing, there's a B1 requirement for the English language. So that's separate from the scholarship I was talking previously. So that's a different thing. So for our degree programs in the social services and both nursing, you do have a requirement for B1 level of Finnish language. The degree studies are in English, but you do need to know it's for the to do your internships. You are required in those fields. It's absolutely required that you do know B1 level of Finnish.
Good. Then how about internships? In master's program, do you have internships?
In Finland, the master level studies are theoretical studies. The internships are only for the bachelor level studies. So for instance, in ICT, maybe Kimmo, you can say more about it, but in master level studies, 30 credit units is a theoretical study and 30 credit units is for the master's thesis, and that is 60 credits for the ICT studies. Health business management, there are theoretical studies for 60 credits and then 30 credits of master's thesis, but no internships in any of the master level studies.
Yeah, Kimmo, do you want to add?
No, it's just like that. Yeah, just totally correct in the ICT like that.
Okay. Then there was a question about how IELTS score for master students. So what is required for IELTS? Thanks for that question, because it allows me to clarify that for the master's studies through Edunation, the IELTS requirement is 6.0 for masters, unless the bachelor was done in English. Any age limits for master's or bachelor's programs at Metropolia? Can any age apply? Sirpa, Aija.
Well, I suppose the youngest ones would be 18 or 19 years, because if they do the high school studies, they are around, in Finland, they are usually about 19 years old, and I think you cannot be younger than that. And there is no age limit if you think about the 50 or 60 years. We still have students who are older than 18 years old. So there are no age limits if you think about the older people.
Yeah, so in Finland, we embrace continuous learning. Yeah. Tuition fees payment policy. Does it require to pay the full tuition fee in advance to apply for visa? Or students can pay half of the tuition fee? So with Metropolia and with Edunation, it's 100% payment of tuition fee before applying for residence permit. how many gap years is acceptable after 12? So let's say somebody finishes high school and takes gap years. Can they then apply to bachelor anytime?
Yes, why not? If they if they don't know what to study straight after the high school, they probably would like to be in the working life and save a little bit of money. And after 2 years, they will apply. Why not? It's a very personal question, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Then here is a question asking to clarify still the B1 level Finnish requirement for graduation, for nursing, sorry. Is it after graduation or is it even during application? Sirpa.
For the nursing, so that you will be accepted as a student, you need to have the B1 level. It's not. It has nothing to do with the graduation. You need to be able to be eligible to apply. You need to have B1 level of Finnish language skills.
Yeah. So application
because you can't do an internship in Finland in the hospital, or it's too responsible and risky. It's too risky to do an internship because the patients might be so elderly people who have poor knowledge of English language, or there's a too big risk in the field of healthcare and social services. So that's the reason why we want to be sure that the patients are taken care of properly.
Yeah. Out of Edunation partners, only SAMK, Satakunta University of Applied Sciences, offers nursing degree without prior Finnish knowledge. So you can have a look at that if you're interested. Then there's a question about, is it necessary to learn Finnish in order to work in Finland? Well, this nursing part was covered. It's really important to know Finnish if you want to work as a nurse. But how about Oheneba? What would you say? For you to be able to work, do you need to know Finnish?
No. I have had, in the last 2 years, I have had 2 jobs. I worked with just as a part-time thing for myself, just to like earn money. I worked with the Red Cross as a face-to-face fundraiser. Didn't need Finnish, and also I got last summer a job in the school's help desk. Does not need Finnish. Pretty much it's quite much an outlier situation when you're in a situation where people don't speak English. Although again, it depends on what you're doing. So that's key. But in what I'm doing, it's pretty much, in my profession, I'm told it's pretty much, it's close to zero.
Yeah.
Those who require Finnish.
I can comment also that in ICT field, Finland, in most companies, they do have an official language in English. So companies that they offer jobs, they really don't care do you speak Finnish or not, because many of the workers already in companies are from abroad and they are making international business. So they use English language. And documentation is also in English mostly. And actually in Finnish degree programmers in ICT, many of the students decide to write their thesis in English language because it's much easier, because the ICT language is English. It's easier to write in English than translate it into Finnish.
Yeah, I could also add here that in the field of ICT, like Kimmo and Oheneva told, and then in the field of business as well, nowadays you can pretty much get a job in Finland just speaking English. That it's not necessary to have Finnish skills, but to comment on Oheneba, that he actually has learned very well already Finnish, so it's not that tricky. So he's quite becoming fluent on that slowly.
Great. Kudos to that. Do you accept student who has done 3 years diploma after high school? So can that kind of student apply to bachelor? I think yes. I mean, they have high school, so they can apply to bachelor.
If someone has done a high school and then a diploma, for instance, in certain area, they could come for a top-up degree if they wanted to top up their studies to a bachelor level studies. We could compare the curricula they have done before in their own country in that advanced diploma or diploma level. Then we tailor the required studies for the students. It will be very individual, tailored program, and then we can offer that one for somebody who wants to top up.
Yeah, so you are quite flexible with that. Yeah, great. Then we have two more questions, and these are both about visas. So one is a visa question from Pakistani students, and also what kind of documents you need to show at the embassy. Next week, Thursday, the same time, so 10 a.m. GMT and 3:30 New Delhi time. Bettina and I are going to take 1 hour to go through in great detail the residence permit, so the student visa process. So please join that webinar, and if you can't join it, we are also sending the webinar recording to all our partners after that. So then you'll have an opportunity to ask all the questions related to residence permit next week, Thursday. For now, I would really like to thank Metropolia for taking the time to talking with our partners. It was really useful to hear from the experts. So thanks so much, and wishing everybody a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.